it's time for another road trip in the yellow Volvo. This time we're heading for Belgium. It's 6:30 in the morning right now, and I'm heading south to Næstved to pick up my older brother. And from there on, we're going to go to Durbuy, catch the ferry to Puttgarden, and then across Germany. See you there. We're off the motorway now, and the noise level has come down to something more sensible. So that's one thing about these old cars. They're fun to drive, but when you get up to speed, there's a terrible wind noise in here. We're doing about 80 kilometers an hour now. That's more acceptable. This is actually my preferred speed in this car. It's a great cruiser, but motorway speeds, the noise is too overwhelming. This is nice though. And out of respect for my older brother's patience, I decided to stick to voiceover from here on. These road trips are one of the great pleasures of owning a classic car. You get a real feel for the vehicle, and you always get a great response from the people you meet along the way. My personal goal is to do at least one major road trip each year. I aim for the late spring, as the chance of catching some nice weather is decent. Tourist numbers haven't skyrocketed yet, and neither have the prices. First up Næstved to pick up my older brother, and then on down to Durbuy to catch the ferry to Germany. The destination for this year's road trip will be Belgium, because why not? It's not too far and it's a small country, so we'll be able to cover all of it. Not every corner, obviously, but no destinations or site will be too far off the main route. I've only visited Brussels before, not my favorite European capital, to be honest. So this should be the perfect opportunity to see what else the country has to offer. Can't wait. And we're off the ferry. This is where the adventure begins. Well, sort of. The German Autobahn is never really the highlight of any trip with a classic car. The first stop and cultural feature of our road trip will be Varusschlacht. It's the battlefield where the Roman general Varus lost 3 whole legions, and the Roman advance into Europe was effectively stopped. After Varusschlacht, we only had about an hour's drive west to the small German town of Bad Bentheim near the Dutch border, and our first hotel. Today we're heading straight for Brügge, or Bruges, with no stops along the way. We're on the road again tomorrow, and we want to have as much time as possible to explore the city and soak up the atmosphere. Bruges is a spectacular city of cobbled streets and ancient buildings. Personal opinion here, Brussels has nothing on Bruges. After a morning stroll, we hit the road again, heading for Ypres. Ypres was bombed heavily during the First World War and took a very heavy toll, and it's been rebuilt almost from the ground up. We got no particular plans in Ypres. We're just going to have a quick stroll around the city center, and then hopefully we'll find somewhere on the main square to have lunch. From Ypres, we head east towards Passchendaele Memorial Cemetery. It's the site of one of the most grueling battles of World War I. The site of the battlefield has been turned into a very pretty garden with memorials for each of the different countries that were represented in the battle. I was particularly shocked at seeing the separate memorial for the Maori soldiers of New Zealand who participated in the battle. On the advice of an old English lady we met, we went to the Pine Cot Cemetery not far from the Passchendaele Memorial. As I understand it, it's the biggest British World War I war cemetery. From Pine Cot, it's further east now, a couple of hours to our next hotel in the countryside south of Ghent. It's Tuesday, and we're off to visit another battlefield. We're heading for Butte de Lyon at Waterloo, where Napoleon met his final defeat. The artificial hill here offers spectacular views of the countryside. And now for something completely different. From Butte de Lyon we head east towards the Museum of Hergé, the creator of the famous Tintin comics. If you're a fan of the Franco-Belgian school of comics, this place is a must-see. The museum showcases original sketches and drawings and awesome full-size models. From here we head south towards the day's final destination of Dinant. Besides being the birthplace of the saxophone, Dinant is also the home of the famous Belgian beer Leffe. Word of warning here. The Belgian country roads are really dodgy. For a minute I thought I'd lost my exhaust pipe here from all the bumping around on the uneven roads. Turns out the ruts were so deep here, the bottom of the car was scraping along the cobbled pavement. As you can see, the drive along the River Meuse offers some of the most spectacular views in Belgium. It's Wednesday, and today we'll be leaving Belgium, although just for a little while. We're going to be taking a detour to Luxembourg, but before that, we'll pay a visit to Bouillon, another gem of a Belgian village, nestled on the banks of the Semois River. The highlight of Bouillon is the medieval castle perched on the hill above the village. What a view from the tower! onwards to Luxembourg. We're going to be staying at a hotel in the city center, but first we'll visit the American War Museum on the outskirts of town. The hotel is located at the heart of the city, but there is underground parking a stone's throw away. Lots of cafes, restaurants and shops, and not much else to do. Been there, done that. It's Thursday, and it's back to Belgium, and back to more battlefields. We're heading for Bastogne, where the Americans faced some of the toughest fighting in the Second World War. First stop is the small museum of the 101st Airborne. Next up is the larger and more official American War Museum. Our last stop in Bastogne is Jaques, where Easy Company of Band of Brothers fame fought some vicious battles against the Germans. The Bastogne War Museum has launched an interactive VR app. This offers a whole other level of experience as you walk among the foxholes that are still left there. After Jaques, it's on to our final destination for the day and our hotel in La Roche-en-Ardenne. Probably my favorite town in Belgium, and popular with other tourists as well. Today is our last day in Belgium. We'll be visiting the village of Durbuy before heading for the Dutch border. Durbuy is another quaint Belgian village with a castle and a church nestled on the banks of a river. Unfortunately, it has very much been overrun by tourists, like ourselves. Still very much worth a visit though. Our destination and today's hotel is in Elsloo, north of Maastricht. We're a bit ahead of our schedule, so we've decided to make a stop at Maastricht first. A very lively city, much more so than the last time I visited about 20 years ago. From Maastricht, it's a short 20-minute drive north to our hotel and a well-deserved drink, or two, or three. Today we're leaving the Netherlands and crossing over into Germany. We're looking at several hours on the Autobahn to reach our hotel in Celle, south of Hamburg. However, before we hit the Autobahn, we're going to pay a short visit to the Neanderthal Museum outside Düsseldorf. What do you know? Just as our road trip is nearing its end, the rain starts pouring down. Celle is a popular tourist destination in the northern part of Germany. It's famous for its many half-timbered houses. Lots of modern windows and plastic paint, unfortunately. But hey, that's how it is. It's the final day of our road trip, and well, basically we're just gonna hit the Autobahn and head for the ferry. However, we'll just squeeze in one last stop before we hit the Autobahn. Bergen-Belsen, the World War II concentration camp, is located a short 20 minutes drive north of Celle. Easily the most sobering of all the war memorials we've visited on this trip. The least interesting part of all road trips, just heading home. And the slightly embarrassing Schadenfreude, looking at the cars in endless queues heading the other way. So glad it's not us.